Good morning, Mr. Simpson.
Good morning.
Review any documents last night for this depo?
No.
Talk to anybody other than lawyers about the deposition?
No.
When you went up the withdrawn, when you came down the stairs, picked up the golf cover bag and signaled to the limousine driver and then went inside the house, did you then turn on any lights?
If the coach lights weren't on by then, I may have turned the coach lights on at that time.
Did you turn the coach lights on before you came out the door or after you went in the house?
As I said, if they weren't on then, before then, I may have turned them on then. I don't recall.
Before you actually stepped out?
I don't recall if I did it before or as I turned and came back in. I just don't recall.
The light switches on the inside?
Yeah, and I may have done that, yes.
May have done what?
Turned on the coach lights.
Before you picked up the golf bag and showed it to the limo driver or after?
As I told you, I'm not sure if I did it before or after, but I may have one or the other.
Now, was the entryway light on at that time when you came down the stairs?
I don't believe so.
And did you turn that light on when you went in the house after you picked up the golf cover bag?
I may have, but I know my lamp was on, so I may not have.
You have a separate lamp and a separate light in the entryway, correct?
Yes.
So your best recollection now is that you turned the coach lights on, but not the entryway line?
That I may have.
You
I
may
may
have.
have, yes.
You're just not sure?
Just not sure.
And you're not sure if you turned it on before or after you came out the house?
That's
No,
correct.
it's ask and answer. And you
very-
covered this. You covered this.
I don't think
all.
I did,
Yes,
Mr.
you
Baker,
did.
because
I'll
I have
get
a
you-
little notation here that I didn't. Anyway, I was just trying to
Okay.
clarify this
Let's
point.
move on.
Can you let him answer that question?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay.
I may have.
And you're not sure if you turned on the coach lights before or after you came out of the house, is that correct?
That's correct.
Who was at withdrawn? At some point on the 13th of June, when you were at the Rockingham property with Lang and your lawyers, Lang then left, right?
I don't know.
Well, at some point, the police were gone and you were in your home on the evening of June 13 without anybody from LAPD there. Is that right?
That's correct.
And you were with some of your close friends and family, right?
Correct.
And who was there that evening with you?
I'll just take a guess. My family, my immediate sisters and my mom.
I need you to just give me the names. Your mother, Eunice?
Yes.
Your sisters who?
Carmelita and Shirley.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law, Benny Baker.
First name?
Benny Baker.
Benny?
Baker.
Yes.
I believe members of his family may have been there. I'm not sure.
Benny's married to Shirley?
Yes. Members, nieces and stuff may have been there.
Their children, in other words?
Yes.
Anyone else?
I believe as the night went on, my son and my daughter. My
Jason
oldest
and
son.
Arnell?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sure Kathy Randa was there. Bob Kardashian was there. And then there were just so many people coming in and out.
Who came in and out?
I can't even recall all of them. I can't. Some of them, I think Ron Ship was there. Joe Stellini, I think I recall being there. I may have mentioned Kardashian. And there was just people coming and going.
Can you remember anybody else, Mr. Simpson?
Not right now, no.
And who is Joe Stellini?
A friend of mine.
For a number of years?
Yes.
Does he still have the restaurant?
No.
Is that the man who owns Stellini's?
Used to, yes.
Yeah. He doesn't own it anymore?
I don't think it's open anymore.
You had a conversation with Ron Ship that evening?
No, I don't recall having a conversation with Ron other than general, whatever everybody was saying to me. Oh, Cato was there.
Cato Kalin?
Yes.
Tell me what you said to Ron Ship, Mr. Simpson.
I don't, other than what everybody was asking me how I was feeling, they were expressing their condolences and It would have been in that vein.
Ship was expressing his condolences to you
Yes,
for the loss of Nicole,
yes,
and he had known Nicole himself, right?
yes.
Did you and he ever talk alone?
No,
Are you positive?
yes.
Why are you so sure of that?
Because my sister and my mom, I was with them all the time. When I went upstairs, it sort of was irritating that my sisters stayed with me, you know, and it was, at times, got a little irritating.
At times you got irritated about what?
It was just irritating because you want to be alone, because I wanted to be alone, and they wouldn't let me be alone.
Did you ask folks to leave?
No.
When you went upstairs, you mean to your bedroom?
Yes.
At any time that evening, was Ron Ship upstairs and is with you in your bedroom?
I don't know. Various people came up when they were leaving to say goodbye, and he may have been one of them.
And if he came up to say goodbye in your bedroom, were you and he alone at that time?
If he were, no.
Who was with the two of you, you and Ship?
I don't know if he ever
Assuming
came
that
up.
he ever came up.
I don't know if he ever came up. So I can't say that. I just know my sister Shirley or my sister Carmelita were with me all the time. They just would not let me be alone. And my cousin and my brother-in-law Benny.
They were with you all the time in the bedroom?
Yes.
When did they leave your bedroom?
I don't think they ever did.
They slept there with you?
Yes.
In the same bed?
No.
Where, on the floor?
No.
Is there another bed in there?
No.
Where'd they sleep?
On the couch.
In your bedroom?
Yes.
Who slept on that couch that evening?
My sister Shirley and Benny, I saw them from time to time.
Benny slept in the room too?
Yes.
Where did he sleep?
On the couch.
There are two couches?
Was an L-shaped couch.
Okay. And so the entire time you were up in your bedroom, from the moment you went up there until the moment you got up in the morning, your sister Shirley was with you, is that right?
Yes.
And was anyone else with you that entire time?
I don't know. For the entire time?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, there were people that came and went, as I told you before.
Now, Mr. Ship and you had a discussion that evening about a polygraph test?
I don't recall that, no.
Is it your memory that that conversation did not occur?
Yes.
Did you say to Ron Ship something to the effect, like how long does it take for the blood work to come back or blood tests to come back?
I don't believe so.
Did you have any conversation with Ship about blood tests or DNA tests?
No.
You're pretty clear on that?
Yes.
Did you ask Ship any questions about polygraph tests?
No.
Have you ever taken a polygraph test?
No.
Okay. I was going to say, since the Nicole's death, have you taken a polygraph test?
No.
Did you and Ship discuss anything about polygraph tests?
No.
Did you tell Ron Ship, in reference to your statement to Van Adder and Lang about weird thoughts, that you were having weird thoughts that you might kill Nicole?
No.
Did you tell Ron Ship that you had a dream about killing Nicole?
No.
Did you say anything to Ron Ship about dreams that evening?
No.
Did you say anything to Ron Ship about having weird thoughts about Nicole?
No.
Ron Ship, you knew, was a former police officer, correct?
Yeah, I knew he couldn't get back on the force, yes.
I know
I knew he couldn't get back on the force, yes.
Why did you just add that? I didn't ask you that.
Don't answer that question.
Well, Mr. Simpson, you appear to have some animosity towards Mr. Ship. Is that correct?
Don't answer that either. He doesn't appear to have anything.
Do you
Maybe he does in your eyes, but not in mine.
Do you have animosity towards Mr. Ship now?
I feel sorry for Ron Ship, yes.
Explain what you mean.
I feel sorry that he's a troubled person, and I tried to help him before because he had some problems, and I tried to help him, and I feel the same way about him now.
Tell me what problems he has that you feel sorry for.
Well, the problems I knew he had was drugs and alcohol, and now, obviously, I don't know. I haven't seen him in a year and a half, 2 years.
When did he have the drugs and alcohol problem that caused you to feel sorry for him?
Previous to these incidences.
When was the last time that you knew or believed that he had a drug or alcohol problem?
Roughly a week or so before Nicole's murders,
How did you find that out?
because he was at my gate.
Uninvited?
Yes,
Which gate?
the Ashford gate.
How did you see him there?
I didn't see him.
How do you know he was there?
He was on my intercom.
He buzzed?
Yes.
What did he say?
He asked if he can use my jacuzzi.
What did you say?
Told him, Ron, I was in bed.
What time was it?
I don't know, at night.
Were you alone?
Yes.
No. Was the housekeeper there?
Maybe, I'm not sure.
What did he then say?
He told me he had a big blonde, a Nicole type, quote unquote. You got to see this girl, OJ. Could he use a jacuzzi? I told him I didn't think it was on. He told me it was on because he had been there earlier.
When you say you don't think it is on, you can simply turn it on, can't you?
Yeah.
Okay. So then what happened?
He kept saying, I owe you juice. Please, man, I owe you. You got to see this girl. I owe you. Come
What
on,
does
man.
that mean,
let
I
me-
owe you?
You know, I guess he owes me a favor. He will owe me a favor.
Oh, he will owe you, I see,
yeah.
if you give him this favor.
Yeah.
Okay, then what happened?
Well, after he told me it was on, I pushed the gate button for him to come in. Told him to watch the dog. You know,
I'm
he-
sorry.
After he told me it was on, I pushed the gate button to let him in and
Yeah.
told him to watch
the dog.
Did he tell you that he knew that the jacuzzi was on from earlier that day?
Yes.
Had he been at your house, or
Evidently.
did you know that?
No.
Did he have access to your property?
No.
How did he get on the property earlier that day?
Well, one of the complaints that I had that I had Kathy discuss with him through, because both Michelle and Gigi had concerns about it, is that he would show up at times, climb the wall, and bring whoever group he was playing tennis with without telling anybody, when I was out of town also.
What wall would he climb?
The Ashford wall.
Right next to this gate where the...
I don't know, I wasn't there to see what part of the wall he climbed.
You had told him he could come on your property and play tennis, right?
Only if he called first. As a matter of fact, I actually had Kathy have a conversation with him about that.
And when did that conversation occur?
In and around that time, and on previous times, she's had to tell him, Ron, you just can't show up at his house.
Mr. Simpson, when you said you wanted him to call first, did you also want someone else to be home when he arrived?
I would prefer that, yes.
So someone could let him in?
No, so that I just don't like a lot of people on my property if I'm out of town, and I was gone most of the time. So, and the housekeepers didn't, especially Gigi, because she was brand new, she didn't know how to handle it, and she had mentioned it, evidently she had mentioned it to Kathy, and then Kathy had mentioned it to me.
Did you tell Mr. Shipp that if no one was home and he wanted to play, he could jump the wall or
No.
get on the property?
No.
So your understanding of your deal with him is that if that he shouldn't be jumping the wall and getting on the property to play tennis. Is that
I
right?
had no deal with him. I don't think anybody should jump my wall without my permission.
And you
No.
told him so, right?
Yes.
Through Randa.
Yes,
Right.
and I told him myself that this was something that had happened before.
Now, when he came in and used the jacuzzi, did you see him that evening?
Yes.
You were in bed, right?
Yes.
You came down to see him?
No.
Tell me
At one
what
point
happened.
I did. He went to my intercom system out back, buzzed me,
From the jacuzzi?
well, in the backyard, and buzzed me and said, "Choose, please, man, you got to help me out here. I need a bottle of wine." I think I was speaking with Kathy Randa at that time, and
On the phone?
I said, "I'm on the phone, Ron." And he said, once again, this whole thing, and he described this girl as a Nicole type. You got to see her. And I said, Ron, I don't even know if I have any wine. He said, oh, come on, Juice, please, man. So I got up, I went downstairs, I opened one of my patio doors. He walked in. I told him to look in the bar to see if there was some wine. I found a bottle that came in one of the Christmas packages or some package somebody had sent me. And I opened it, and I gave it to him, and as he was opening, he said, man, you should go see her. And I walked out back, and she was I wouldn't say a Nicole type, but she was a big blonde, real tall, I would say 5'10", 5'11" blonde girl. And she was in the jacuzzi, and she was talking about what a great property and that she could get used to being here. and asked me to get in the jacuzzi. And then Ron was coming out at that period of time and said, come on, man, why don't you join us? And I said, no, man, I got to get up early in the morning. And I went back upstairs.
Were you dressed?
Had a robe on,
What color?
dark robe.
Did the robe you usually wore?
Yes.
Was that robe taken by the police?
No.
Where was it?
On the back door of my closet.
Is that a terry cloth robe?
Yes, basically.
When you wear it, do you wear it open or closed?
Depends. Obviously, I didn't have it open because that girl was there, but I don't know. Sometimes open, sometimes closed.
And when you close it, do you tie it?
Yes.
How far down does it go?
Almost, it's long robe to my mid-calf, I would say.
How long have you had that robe?
Long time.
Where'd you get it?
Who knows?
Who gave it to you?
Who knows?
Did you buy it?
I doubt it. I never go to the store and buy robes, no.
What's a Nicole type mean?
I would assume he was saying an athletic blonde.
She didn't strike you as an athletic blonde.
She did, yes.
Well, you said she didn't appear to be a Nicole type to you.
Well, in my opinion, Nicole was much more attractive than she was. But outside of that, she was a big blonde.
So a Nicole type to you meant an attractive athletic blonde.
Yeah, I think if I had to describe Nicole myself, I thought she was a gorgeous athletic blonde, yes.
When you went upstairs, is that the last you saw of Ship?
Yes.
And how did you understand he would exit the property that evening?
Out the gate, I would have presumed.
Did he know about how to get in and out of the Ashford gate by pushing it open as you had described?
I would assume so, but he also would have known probably to push the button.
Did Ron Ship see you in the robe?
Yes.
What's this woman's name?
I have no idea.
Did you ever see her again?
No.
Is that the first time you'd ever seen her?
As far as I know, yes.
Okay, you said you don't go to the store to buy robes. Do you buy clothing in the stores?
Yes.
What stores did you shop in to buy clothing 3 years before Nicole's death?
100 of them.
5 years before?
Hundreds of stores.
What clothing do you go and buy?
Shirts, shoes, pants, suits.
You buy in Los Angeles clothing stores?
Yes.
Do you ever make arrangements with the store to go there to shop when no one else is around?
Never.
When it's closed or after hours?
Never have in my life.
Before Nicole's death, when was the last time you had purchased clothing in a store? Do you remember?
No.
When you shop for clothing, do you shop alone?
Depends. If somebody's with me, I'm with someone. If somebody's not, I'm not with anyone.
Did Paul ever buy you clothing from time to time?
Yes.
Did Nicole?
Yes.
They knew your sizes?
Of some things, yeah.
Yeah. You ever shop at any major department stores?
Yes.
Name some.
May Company, Emporium, Macy's.
Emporium?
Yeah. In New York, Bloomingdale's. What's the other big? Gumbles.
Gumbles?
Yeah. Gumps.
Gimbals.
Whatever. Gumps. Neiman Marcus. You name it.
Nicole ever shop in these stores for you?
I would assume so.
Nicole ever shop in Bloomingdale's in New York for you?
Possibly.
You and she ever shop together at Bloomingdale's in New York?
Yes.
Did Paul ever shop in Bloomingdale's in New York for you?
For me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
With you?
Yes.
Your apartment in New York is not far from Bloomingdale's in New York, is that right?
Correct.
Where exactly is your place in New York City?
It's on 3rd and 65th.
It's 3rd and 65th Street?
Yes.
Where's the Bloomingdale's where you shopped and Nicole shopped and Paul shopped?
It's on 59th, 60th, between Lexington and 3rd.
What What clothing have you purchased at that Bloomingdale's in New York?
Sweaters, suits. No, I don't know if I ever bought a suit there. Overcoats, probably slacks, shoes. That's all I can recall.
What items of clothing did Nicole purchase for you at that Bloomingdale's?
I have no idea.
You don't know?
No.
And what about Paula? What did she purchase at that Bloomingdale's store for you?
I don't know if she ever bought me anything from Bloomingdale's.
What kind of shoes did you purchase at Bloomingdale's in New York?
Dress shoes, and at one point, I think I bought some winter boots.
Winter boots?
Yeah.
What kind of winter boots?
I don't know.
You don't know the name?
No.
You're familiar with clothing manufacturers, aren't you?
Yes.
You're a fashion-conscious person, right?
Yes.
You're in the public eye, right? That's part of your career, right?
Is being in the public eye?
Yes.
Yes.
And you like to dress nicely, right?
Yes.
And you can't tell me the name of the company that made your winter boots?
Exactly.
Were they a brand name?
I don't know.
What about your dress shoes?
What do you mean?
Were they brand name shoes?
I don't know.
What kind of dress shoes did you typically buy?
Loafers.
Who made those loafers?
I don't know.
You don't know?
True.
You can't name a single company that made loafers that you owned?
I've never walked into a shoe store in my life and asked for a pair of shoes by name unless they were tennis shoes.
Well, I didn't ask that. I didn't ask whether you asked for it by name. I asked whether you knew the name of any of the dress shoes that you have ever purchased.
At the time he purchased them, subsequently?
Anytime, Mr. Baker.
I believe I've worn some Bally's. I believe I had shoes called Ferragamos. I believe I've had, I don't know if they would have been called Stacy Adams. I don't know if wingtips are a brand name or not, or a style.
I'm not limiting my question to loafers, by the way. Any kind of shoe.
Other than that, I couldn't tell you. Reeboks, Nikes, Puma. I can't think of the name of the big golf company shoe right now.
FootJoy.
FootJoy. 1 second.
Yeah.
Reeboks, Nikes, Puma.
FootJoy.
FootJoy?
Yeah.
Bally's, Ferragamo, Stacy Adams, wingtips.
Yeah, I'm sure I've owned those type of shoes before.
Wingtips is a style of shoe, not a...
That's why I know if it's a brand name or style. I don't know.
Can you think of any other brand names of shoes that you have worn?
No.
Are these the only brand name shoes you have worn?
I would know.
Have you worn shoes that you did not know the manufacturer of or the brand name of?
I would assume so.
The answer is you have?
I don't know. I would assume so since I don't know the names of the shoes. They could have been those. They could have been some other name.
Okay. Including Bruno Magli's, correct?
That would be in there, yes. I would know. I've never seen a pair of Bruno Magli shoes in my closet, and I never looked for them.
Well, but Bruno Magli shoes would be in there, correct?
I don't
In
know.
where?
The only pair of
That's what
Bruno...
he said, Mr. Baker.
No, but in where? Your question.
Bruno Magli shoes would be included in shoes that you have worn that you did not know the
No,
manufacturer
that's not
of the brand
correct.
name?
That's not correct at all. That's not correct at all.
That's
That is not what you
quantity.
asked either.
Let me,
Not what you
let
asked
me see
either.
the testimony, please. Let's not get excited.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, question. I would have, let me go back to the one before.
The more I write, the more it disappears. I don't know which one you want.
Let me ask you this. Let's go back.
Wait a minute. Let's go back and let's read these things.
I choose not to.
Well, I choose to.
It totally supports what I said, but I choose not to.
Well, I
Would
don't
you
care.
like to have it read?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't care what you think totally supports what
Would
you
you like
think.
me to read it, Mr. Baker?
No, I'd like David to read
Okay,
it.
David, you read it to Mr. Baker.
Let's see. Question, have you worn shoes that you did not know the manufacturer of or the brand name of? Answer, I would assume so. Question, the answer is you have. Answer, I don't know. I would assume so. Since I don't know the names of the shoes, they could have been those. They could have been some other name. Question, including Bruno Malley's? Correct. Answer, that would be in there. Yes, I wouldn't know. I've never seen a pair of Bruno Magli shoes in my closet, and I've never looked for them. Question, but Bruno Magli shoes would be in there, correct?
Okay.
Well, I don't think it supports what you said, but that's in the eyes of the beholder.
I don't expect you to agree. There are some shoes, withdrawn. There are shoes that you have worn.
Mm-hmm.
Withdrawn. I want to limit my questions prior to Nicole's death, okay?
Mm-hmm.
There are shoes that you wore prior to Nicole's death that you did not know the name of the manufacturer or the brand name, correct?
Yes, correct.
So you would not know whether such shoes that you did not know the name of were Bruno Maglis, correct?
Correct.
Has anyone purchased any shoes? Did Nicole ever purchase shoes for you?
No.
Did anyone ever purchase shoes for you?
Yes.
Who?
USC, the Buffalo Bills. I can't think of anyone else.
49ers shoes.
49ers. No, by then I was supplying my own shoes.
Shoes for personal use, home use, I mean, not
No.
athletic shoes.
No.
No one but you bought shoes for yourself, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Was that true for 5 years up before Nicole's death?
Yes.
Did you ever buy shoes that you knew were Bruno Magli shoes?
No.
How do you know that?
Because I know if Bruno Magli makes shoes that look like the shoes they had in court that's involved in this case, I would have never worn those ugly-ass shoes.
You thought those were ugly-ass shoes?
Yes.
Why were they ugly-ass shoes?
Because in my mind they were.
What about them was ugly, Mr. Simpson?
The look of them, the style of them.
What about the style?
I don't know, they were ugly to me. Aesthetically, I felt that they were ugly, and I guess beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and to me they were ugly shoes.
Were they dress shoes?
They didn't appear to be.
What did they appear to be?
All-purpose casual shoes.
Did you own, prior to June 12, 1994, all-purpose casual shoes?
Yes.
Did you own any dark all-purpose casual shoes?
I don't know.
You don't remember the all-purpose casual shoes that you owned as of June 12, 1994?
Well, it's all-purpose is what throws me.
Well, that was your word.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
using
no,
your
I
word.
would say no. I didn't then.
You didn't what?
Where the type of shoe I saw in court, the Bruno Magli shoe that I saw in court, seemed to be the type of shoe that you can wear in anything but rain. To me, that's what they looked to be.
Why couldn't you wear it in the rain?
They didn't look like they were waterproof to me. But they also look like shoes you can wear on a normal day also.
And you
But-
have shoes like that, right?
No, I think the type of shoes that I wear like that, I wear for rain and cold.
Well, what casual shoes did you own as of June 12, 1994?
I consider all my loafers casual shoes.
Loafers?
Yeah.
Did you own any shoes that were not loafers that were casual shoes of the type those Bruno Maglis were that you saw in court?
No.
And by what I mean of the type, I don't mean that you couldn't wear them in rain or could wear them in rain, but just generally casual shoes, all-purpose casual shoes, excluding like fancy dress shoes.
No.
So all of your casual shoes that you owned in as of June 12, 1994 were loafers. Is that what
Yes.
you're saying?
Yes.
You own no tie shoes,
Well, I do have tie shoes, yes.
but they're all dress shoes?
For me, they're dress shoes. When I wear a tie shoe, it's for dress.
How many pairs of shoes did you own as of June 12, 1994?
A lot.
How many?
I don't know.
Give me your best approximation.
20 to 40.
Are you including the golf shoes?
Yeah, I guess you can throw those in there.
Are you?
maybe.
Would that increase to 20 to 40?
No, I don't think so. Just all shoes, 20 to 40 pair of
Okay,
shoes.
let's
I would say.
exclude golf shoes. How many shoes did you own as of June 12,
I have
1994?
absolutely no idea.
Let's exclude Reeboks and Nike and other tennis shoes. By tennis shoes, I mean shoes that you could play tennis or basketball with.
I don't know.
How many shoes, excluding athletic shoes, did you own as of June 12, 1994?
I don't know.
Give me your best approximation,
I
Mr.
can't.
Simpson.
I can't.
20 to 40?
Possibly.
Okay. Now, of those 20 to 40 shoes, how many were loafers?
I couldn't tell you.
What's your best approximation?
I couldn't give you an approximation. I would say the majority, though.
Of the 20 to 40 shoes, how many were dress shoes?
I would say, I don't know.
Give me your best
I
approximation.
I can't do that
Why not?
because I just can't recall.
Where were these shoes kept in your home?
My closet.
The closet you've already described?
Yeah. Now you're talking about L.A., right?
Well, did you have shoes in other locations?
Yes.
Where?
New York and Laguna.
Have you ever bought shoes in Bloomingdale's in New York and taken them back to Los Angeles?
Yes.
Including New York, Laguna, and Los Angeles, the shoes that you owned were roughly 20 to 40?
In this, I'm just guessing, yes.
And all the shoes in Los Angeles were kept in your closet, right?
Yes.
In your bedroom?
Yes.
No shoes were in the garage or anywhere else?
They may have been.
Excluding golf shoes again.
Excluding athletic shoes,
Yeah.
golf shoes, yeah.
They may have been, but I don't know. But majority, the shoes that I wear are in my closet.
Was there anything about the color of the Bruno Magli shoes that you saw in court that you said made them ugly?
I don't know. Well, they were bluish green, I believe. But no, maybe. I guess aesthetically, it was a whole thing together were not really attractive shoes.
Wasn't the color necessarily, right?
No,
Was it the style of shoe?
for the most part, yes.
And what about the style?
Just aesthetically, I don't know. I looked at it, I didn't like it. I can look at a suit that's made by the same company and think it's ugly, and look at another one and think it's gorgeous. So it was just, to me, aesthetically, I didn't like the shoe. Nothing specific. I didn't study it. I looked at it, and I didn't like the shoe.
Had you ever heard of Bruno Magli shoes as of June 12, 1994?
No,
The name meant nothing to you?
nothing.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
So if someone said Bruno Magli to you as of June 12, 1994, you would have no idea what that meant or what that referred to. Is that right?
That's correct.
Now, you said the majority of your shoes were loafers,
Yes,
and the others were all shoes that tied, correct?
for the most part, yes.
And describe those shoes to me.
They look like regular tie-up shoes.
Name all the brand name shoes that you owned, or the manufacturers of all the 20 to 40 shoes that you owned.
I don't know.
You can't do that?
No.
There's too many?
I don't know the names of the shoes.
You have no recollection?
That's correct.
Can you positively Okay. What size shoe does your son Jason wear?
I don't know.
Does he ever wear your shoes?
He did in the past, yes.
And did you ever wear his shoes?
No,
Not once?
never.
When you said he did in the past, what do you mean by that?
In the past, a couple of times when he was a teenager, he used to steal my clothes from time to time.
In the 5 years before Nicole's death, did he wear your shoes?
Not that I know of.
Get the trial. Did you ever buy any gloves at, did you ever buy any gloves?
I'm sure I did, yes.
You used gloves in the course of your work for television, correct?
Yes,
For example, in inclement weather at football games, you might have to wear gloves when you're on the field interviewing athletes, correct?
correct,
Or holding an umbrella, correct?
correct.
What kind of gloves did you own for that purpose within the 5 years before Nicole's death?
I don't know.
Can you describe them to me?
Nice gloves, blue, black gloves, brown gloves, basically, and maybe once in a while some that's tan in there.
Did you buy those gloves yourself?
I'm sure I have over the years, yes.
Did Nicole ever buy any for you?
I don't ever recall her ever buying me gloves, no.
Did Nicole ever give you gloves for a gift?
Not that I ever recall, no.
Did anyone ever give you gloves for a gift 5 years prior to Nicole's death?
Not that I ever, well, no, not that I ever recall, no.
Can you positively say that Nicole never bought you gloves as a gift?
I don't recall her ever buying me gloves as a gift. Yes, I think I can say that, yes.
You think you can say positively that she never did?
Yes,
Your size was extra large, right?
it depends.
Depends on what?
Depends on the glove.
Some of the gloves were extra large sizes, right?
I would assume so.
You owned gloves as of June 12, 1994 that were extra large size, correct?
I'm sure, yes.
How many pairs of gloves did you own as of June 12, 1994?
I don't know.
Give me your best estimate.
I couldn't.
More than 50?
No,
More than 10?
I don't know.
What? More than 5?
I don't know.
Why don't you know?
Because I lose gloves, and people, NBC would have to get me gloves from time to time because I would lose gloves, and I didn't know if they were in New York or in LA or where they might have been, so I don't really know what gloves I had.
Let's talk about gloves at Rockingham. How many gloves did you own and have at Rockingham as of June 12, 1994?
I don't know.
More than 5?
I have no idea.
Did you have so many that you can't remember? Is that what you're saying?
I just don't know what ski gloves I had, what gloves are there. I didn't go in my closet and look for gloves and count gloves in LA.
You wouldn't use ski gloves for work, right?
At times I did, yes.
You did? Okay.
Yes.
I mean,
Have you been to Buffalo, Dan?
yes. Where were all the gloves kept in your house at Rockingham that you owned as of June 12, 1994?
That I know of. In my closet, in another closet that's outside of my main closet. You're talking about Rockingham. In my
Yes.
closet, and in my closet outside of my main closet, there's another closet that I keep mostly ski equipment.
Had you used the ski gloves for work within 5 years before Nicole's death?
Those ski gloves?
Yes.
Possibly.
The ones at your Rockingham house?
Possibly.
Where's that closet? Is it outside your bedroom?
No, it's in my bedroom, yes.
And the other closet is the big walk-in closet that apparently is cavernous, right?
Yes.
And there's a place where gloves are filed, but not filed. Been working too long. A place where gloves are maintained there.
Now, you mean in the big closet or the space next to the big closet?
The big closet.
Okay.
I think there's a drawer that they put my gloves in, yes.
Who's they?
Normally my housekeepers.
Where do they get the gloves from?
If I brought them from New York, when I get wet clothes I bring back from New York, and there may not have been any gloves involved in that, they unpack for me and put them in various drawers and hang up various clothes.
Okay, now, focusing on gloves, where would your housekeepers put your gloves?
In a drawer. Can't recall if it's a top or second drawer in my bedroom.
Bedroom closet?
Yes.
And then is there some other area where they would put gloves? Or where gloves were kept?
Yes.
Where is that?
In a closet outside of my cavernous closet, as you described it.
Any place else?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Did, what were the names of the gloves, or the manufacturers or brand names of the gloves that you owned as of June 12, 1994?
I don't know.
Can't identify any of
No.
them? So whatever they were, you just didn't know, right?
Correct.
Were any of them Aris light isotoner gloves?
I don't know.
You don't know one way or the other, right?
Exactly.
In other words, they could have been.
They could have been, yes.
Let me mark some exhibits. What are we up to?
54.
I will mark what was trial exhibit 606E as exhibit 54. I will mark as exhibit, don't run away with my exhibits. I'll mark as exhibit 55. I was looking for them all day. Trial exhibit 606F. I will mark as exhibit 56. Trial exhibit.
Shoes.
Why? Okay. 1371.
I used to have my act together.
Yeah.
Look dark blue to me, like the coat.
You know, I'm relatively colorblind in blue and black, so I
Yeah.
can't tell you.
You're letting the end of this, and then they kicked me out. At the end, they told me, you're too colorblind to do what you've been doing for 3.5 years. I said, well, this is perfect.
Well, you guys figured this out 3.5 years ago.
Let me just look at these. I've given you exhibits 54, 55, and 56. We have to take 56 out of the wrapper here so you can see the gloves. Now, looking first at exhibits 54 and 55, you see the gloves that you're wearing in those photographs?
Yes.
And you saw these photographs in court, right?
Yes.
And those are brown leather gloves, correct?
They appear to be, yes.
The one in exhibit 56 is black, correct?
Correct.
A pair of black leather gloves, correct?
Correct.
First of all, what do you know the year in which the photos were taken here? It's exhibits 54 and 55.
No.
Can you give me a best estimate of the year in which you were conducting the interview that's depicted in those photos?
90?
1990?
Yes.
And how do you know it's 90?
Because Sam White is in Cincinnati Bingo.
Sorry.
Because Sam White is in Cincinnati Bingo. I don't know it's 90. I'm guessing at 90, but he's in Cincinnati Bingo clothes.
So he would have had to have been the coach of the Bengals.
Yes. Yes.
Was that Boomer Esiason
Yes.
next to him? Did I impress you, Mr. Brewer?
You did.
And what about the Exhibit 56?
But you've been doing that for 4.5
I don't know.
days.
Did, what year is that, Mr. Simpson?
I have no idea.
Can you date it at all?
After 1989 or after.
And how do you date that?
Because I'm working for NBC.
And that's, when did you begin to work for them?
1989.
Do you know where the photo was taken, Mr. Simpson?
No.
Can you tell by looking at the coat, the tie, anything like that?
No.
Or the gloves?
No.
Or the background, which you can't really see too well in this picture?
Correct.
Okay. Now, focusing on exhibits 54 and 55, where you're wearing the brown leather gloves, do you know what the make of those gloves is?
No.
Do you know if they're Aris isotoner gloves?
No.
Would you have recognized Aris isotoner gloves?
No.
Do you know where you got the gloves that are depicted in exhibits 54 and 55?
No.
Do you know who gave them to you?
No.
Do you know whether you bought them?
I'm sure I must have.
Why do you
unless
say you
NBC
must
did.
have?
Because I don't recall anybody else ever buying me glove but NBC.
Did NBC buy them for you?
Possibly.
Do you know?
Possibly.
Have you looked into that?
No.
Have you asked NBC if they did?
No.
What is the basis on which you say NBC possibly might have given you those brown leather gloves?
Because on a few occasions, we were in cold weather and I had lost my gloves, and the producer of whatever the show was would get a runner or somebody to get me some gloves. And on a few occasions, the guy who pulls the string, the electrician, would give me his gloves.
And would you give them back after you completed your use of them?
If the electrician gave me his, I believe I gave him his back. The other ones, if they bought them for me, I just kept them.